Welcome back to SoFa Academics, where I teach you guys how to budget, save, and invest. Go to SoFa Academics so you can start your free budget today so you can build generational wealth. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe if you're new. Let's get straight into the video. The market just had the best day since 2020. We see that Fear and Greed Index showing that the market is currently still in extreme fear with a 17 out of 100. And we see the last 1 year, the market still in greed with a 59 out of 100. So we brought down the greed a little bit. It was in the neutral at one point, and then we almost dove into fear, but the market's pushed back up. Past month, market's still in extreme fear, which is great, with a 17 out of 100. And the past 1 week, the market's in extreme fear with an 18 and 100. Now we see that the perfect time is to buy our favorite stocks. As we take a look at the NASDAQ, we see that NASDAQ put up 2,000 today. We seen that NASDAQ had this real big and goldish candlestick. This is one of the best days in the stock market since COVID. Now we see that stocks are really recovering after having the worst week in the stock market. Now we see that every time we see the worst week, we always see the best performances after beat up days like that. So that's a key mind. If you've been in the stock market, let me know if you've seen times like that where stocks tremendously fall down. It says like the worst day, the worst week, and the next day they rebound really nice. Those are the best times for you to buy. Buy touch 2024 lows, 2023 lows, and that's a great time for you to buy. See that the market just hits this big candlestick towards the downside. This happens really fast too, and it recovers real fast. And we see we're almost halfway back where we fell. And this is a great sign for the markets as Donald Trump put a pause on these tariffs from countries. And now we're seeing that these markets are very fluctuating in the last few months, man. Whenever he brings up tariffs, put fear in other countries, and whenever he talks about we can negotiate, people start to have relief, and that puts release on people's portfolios. So this is how you know that terrorists and economies really factoring these stocks, and they really move the market. We see Bitcoin had a phenomenal day as well. We're seeing Bitcoin's up at least almost 7,000, fell all the way down to 74,000 today, and then it shot up back to 83,000. And we see Bitcoin's very volatile right now. We got the volume back up on Bitcoin, so good job with Bitcoin. We went down to about 12 billion to 8 billion in volume and quickly spoke up once Bitcoin started to drop down to below 74,000 to 73,000. Now we're seeing the volume staying strong around 55 billion. I still believe even though Bitcoin's past 100,000 and went back down to 70,000, it's still a great time to buy Bitcoin from now to the rest of the year as we push back to 150,000. Keep an eye on Bitcoin. It should be your main repository once you get paid to really currently buy Bitcoin. Solana here ran home today to the ballpark. We seen Solana hit down to about $94 this last few days, and then we seen it push back to $119. As we push back to $300 this year with Solana, you want to continue loading up, as Solana is one of those big layers that sets a firm foundation from fast cryptocurrencies on the blockchain. I like how volatile Solana is, as we're down 65% and $194 in the last 7 days. You want to put this on recurring buy as you got the opportunity to times see what you have by the end of the year. I'm still messing where Doge is at in this price. It went down to 12 cents last few days, and we got it back to 16. As we see more Doge cut down on prices and government spending, you want to keep an eye on Doge. Even with Elon Musk and Trump tweeting now, this is gonna be the best market year ever in history. If we pay attention and we get everything played out with tariffs, with interest rates cutting later this year, this is going to be the best time for you to be investing, even as a new investor or an experienced investor. We're going to see most of our money going out the markets. This is a great cryptocurrency for you to have those cryptocurrencies. You know, you guys can't forget Cardano. Cardano, this one that has been rising in the market as it gets institutionalized, and you release ETF later this year. This one's going to be a good one to add to your portfolio. And we're going to have a lot of money flowing into Cardano, as it's a stable platform for developers for decentralized platforms. I like how it's down 60 to 85% the last at least 60 days. Now we continue buying with the opportunity to double what we put in, as it was at $1.20 last month. MSTR has been buying Bitcoin repeatedly ever since Bitcoin has been falling in correction. And this is a great stock to have in your portfolio, as it has 500,000 Bitcoins in its portfolio and balance sheet. I see MSTR is up at least 25% today, and we got it up $58, which is a great volatility. This is life-changing moves right now if you invested into MSTR, or even put a call option on this one from now to the rest of the year. You will get at least about a $50,000 return if you invest in this one correctly, or depending on how much you invest in, you can double what you put in from now to the rest of the year. I like how volatile this stock is, and price target for MSTR is $500. We're seeing Coinbase drop and break support at least 3 times. That's down at least 58% in the last 121 days. I see it has at least a $200 drop, and this is a great one to have a call option on long term, at least a year out from now, and even now by the summertime. I like how the stock is beat up half price where it's up, and this is where Coinbase and cryptocurrencies all come together on Coinbase platform. This is one you're gonna need in your portfolio long term. You have opportunity to times 2 what you put in, and at least get a $20,000 return as we push up target $350. Another one on the list is Marathon Hut and Riot platforms. These all miners are great ones to add in your portfolio as we push back up and double what we put in. These are going to at least down at least 60% right now and have opportunity to grow while Bitcoin grows up exponentially. I like the way these miners are sitting at. We're seeing that everything fell down while Bitcoin's in a correction, but once Bitcoin start picking up momentum, these are going to start picking up. 8 Hut mines Bitcoin and they set transactions on the blockchain network. This is going to be a great stock to add to your portfolio, is to add more Bitcoin to the balance sheet. And they are one of the top holders of Bitcoin too, as well as Coinbase, MicroStrategy, Marathon Digital, the Cash App, GameStop, and more companies. So this one is the one that you have that's really low right now. You can put a lot with dollars in this one on a lot of shares, or you can make a lot of money on multiple options with this turns. Price target for HUD 8 Marathon Digital are $30. So we are 2 days next to the previous video I recorded. It's Friday now. We see Bitcoin is up to 83,000, and we seen Bitcoin turn around real quick after Trump paused these tariffs, and we see the best week for the stock market in 2025, and this is last time we seen a good stock market like this was in 2008. So now is a great time to buy Bitcoin. I like how we hit this nice double bottom this week, finishing off this bottoming out, and I went ahead and bought some Bitcoin today. Let me know if you guys bought some Bitcoin. Let's get straight into the next one. Let's see Ethereum as well. We see Ethereum finishing off this bottom too, but we're still at 1,500. So every time we see prices like this, it's guaranteed that price is not going to stay down this low till the end of the year. So right now, we're seeing it for the last 3 months at this price level. It's a great opportunity for us to buy Ethereum, as people are hating on Ethereum. People don't like how it's slow and it's less efficient than Solana. We're seeing Solana bounce real quick too after Trump paused tariffs for 30 to 90 days. So you're seeing that Solana is at $121 right now, and last week and this week we hit at least between $90 is low, and we quickly hit a nice bounce. It's $30 difference right now, and we see Solana push back towards this all-time, which is about $300. It's a great time to buy Solana, as we've seen this one finishing off the bottom. See, this right here is a one-handle, then boom, it failed support, and now we hit this nice little bottom right here, and we continue towards upside. Either way, it's guaranteed to buy for you at this price level, $120, $90. We're not gonna see Solana lower than that, just because people who bought it in 2023 got in early. Now is their time for you young millennials to get in this price right now, and as well as Bitcoin. I was talking about Doge last night and thinking that Doge, man, is really on to big moves. I mean, we got the Department of Government Efficiency with Elon and Trump making cuts in the government spending, cutting between at least billions of dollars in debt. And I'm like the way how Doge transformed itself from being a meme into a cryptocurrency that's making big moves and big volatile moves with the government. And I'll continue loading up on Doge. We hit 12 cents earlier this week as an all-time low this year, and we quickly bounced back to 16 cents. I'm seeing Doge hit $1 this year. And let me know if you guys are buying Doge, or if you got Doge in your portfolio. I would at least add a band in this one, because you got the opportunity to times 5, times 7 what you put in. And I like how Doge has been sitting at this level for a good almost 2-3 months now. And I'll continue loading up from now. If you want to pick a cryptocurrency, this one's going to be one of the pick too, as well as they drop a file for ETF. So Doge is really getting more institutionalized as they filed the first ETF, and now they're getting more respect. Now, once a cryptocurrency gets ETF, they got the they got the respect from the stock market and Wall Street. That means not any cryptocurrency can file for ETF. It has to have a certain amount of volume, capital, amount of respect, and institution behind it before it gets approved to be an ETF. Not any ETF can be approved for ETF or any type of cryptocurrency out there. You can't just drop a crypto and then file it for ETF. Okay, guys, so this is big moves for Doge. You're going to see Doge rally just because of this news. Once it gets approved, bro, it's up from there. And all it takes is a tweet from either the Musk or Trump. MicroStrategy is currently at $300 right now. We've seen it close at least 10% today. And whenever Trump announced that he's pausing tariffs for 90 days on Wednesday, we seen the stock market and MSTR really shoot off. This one popped 25%. And we seen it continue with the streak it had, with up now 10%, up $27. So it had a huge week this week. We're seeing that now. MSTR finally hit that support level we were waiting for MSTR to hit. You know, see on previous videos that MSTR could hit at least $236 or lower, and it did exactly that. It touched the support level 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. This is our buy zone right here. So let me know you guys loaded up from anywhere from $236 to $300, which is a perfect entry for this one. I could see MSTR going to $600 this year as Bitcoin pushes up to 140,000 to 150,000 later in December. And I like the way this stock is finally bottoming out. I mean, it's been like this for the last 3 months. Y'all been watching my videos. We've been patient for this one dollar cost averaging. Like I tell you guys not to just go all in, because you see how long it took for this stock to really rebound. So people who would have paid options on this, which is a really volatile stock, they would have been losing money because it's just so choppy. But right now, I'm starting to see that this momentum right here, this from on Wednesday, this move right here from going 236 to 267 is a huge 297 actually, which is a $60 move within a day. And then it bouncing back the next day and falling down. And then today finishing back strongly is a great sign of momentum. So like I said, next week, once we start seeing Bitcoin really rally towards 90K and finish out towards 87K, we can start seeing MSTR really shooting up with gaps up, meaning Sunday afternoon in the night market, we can see MSTR up like 5-10%. So we can see it jump it to $310, $320. And these are moves that really add up, especially if you're a shareholder or even playing options on this one. Great stock, guys. Make sure you get some MSTR. Look out for it for the SDU. As we see, you're going to have a great month for May. I'm pretty sure this one's going to have a great earnings report as well. Coinbase had a great week as well. I mean, we see Coinbase hit the bottom this week on like Monday between $130, $145. And now we've seen it push up to about $180 on Wednesday after tariffs was paused, an announcement with Trump. And that's a great move for Coinbase because we seen it at 200 last week. And right now we're going towards that price again after we seen this nice little bottom right here, and price has not broke support. If we look down on the rating for Coinbase, it's currently in a buy zone. So long term is a buy, and we see that the price target for Coinbase is about $287. So if we buy now, we put a nice leap on Coinbase, we got an opportunity to make about a $10,000 to $15,000 investment if we can put a leap on all the way till 2026, which will be about at least $5,000 investment or $4,000, depending on the strike price you get. This is a great one to load up on. You know, this is where all your cryptocurrencies at. The digital assets is on Coinbase wallet. So as long as people are buying cryptocurrency and selling it, this stock is always going to be profitable at the end of the day. It's a great one to have in your portfolio, as well as Robinhood. Marathon Digital is another great miner stock that mines Bitcoin and accepts transaction on the blockchain network. We see that Mara was down to at least $9.89 on Monday, and Wednesday after it announced its tariffs really start this work in this stock right here. Now we pushed up back to $12 all time. We see that Mara was at $30 in December, so we're going to push back towards that price later this year. It's a good one to load up on, as we're down at least 65%, and we're down at least $20 in the last 125 days. I like this stock where it's sitting. We continue loading on Marathon Digital so we can build some good wealth. This is a great start for your portfolio if you want to see heavy growth. Man, oh man, bro, I can't wait to tell you guys about GameStop, one of my favorite stocks that really got me interested into the stock market when I was first learning and made me go all into learning much about it every day. GameStop is at $26.40. I told you about GameStop. It announced that it's starting to buy Bitcoin with about $1.8 billion to invest in Bitcoin and digitalized currency. And that is great news for GameStop, as we've seen this company several times in the past trying to turn around from being one of the worst companies now to actually getting rid of debt from the stores. Now seeing it actually being a real profitable company that's sitting on a lot of cash and assets. So now we're seeing that once GameStop now still we're going to be involved in cryptocurrency, the stock gapped up. Okay, so we've seen it gap up right here. We've seen it shoot up like that. But then the next few days, overnight, we've seen GameStop crash. And then boom, this gave us a perfect time for us to get in GameStop after that announcement. And I think I can start seeing some buyers really step into GameStop. I don't see GameStop breaking below $20 this year, because last year we seen GameStop at $10, and that was the lowest. Between $9 and $10 was the lowest GameStop hit last year. And after that, GameStop was short squeezed. After it hit that low of $9.89, let me give you guys exact numbers. After it hit about $10, exactly $10 last year, we seen the next few days GameStop was in a win streak, and it took about almost like 5 days for GameStop to reach from $10 to $65. So you want to pay attention to these patterns. May, when this happened, the short squeeze happened due to Roaring Kitty making that tweet, it took off almost 500% in a few days. So now we can see that GameStop is not passing below $20. I mean, it's staying strong around this $20 range, especially once we seen this double bottom right here of the price not going below. We're seeing price above this support level, and it's staying strong from days out. After that is a good sign to keep up for GameStop as we push past $60 this year. It's a good one to load up on. I mean, this is just perfect technicals. We're not ever going to get a good setup like this in a long time, where we see like perfect dips and uptrends starting from March in 2024, April, and we continued up in that uptrend, and we got 2025. We're in perfect dip right now, where price hasn't hit lower than we hit last year. So now we can continue loading up. It'll be a great price, even some call options and buying shares. You won't go wrong with GameStop, as we see them get involved with Bitcoin. And now I'm starting to see GameStop is moving more with Bitcoin's price. Last year, I was trying to get a correlation between GameStop's price movement and Bitcoin, but now it's all making sense. It's all moving together now. It was a little behind Bitcoin last year. It didn't really move with Bitcoin's price. But now that they're investing in Bitcoin, I see them moving. Once Bitcoin shoots up like 5% a day, we'll definitely see GameStop up for that day at the same time. So that's even more better for the stock investor. Seeing a lot of volatility with AMC as well. We see AMC, this was last year on the 11th, April 2024, whenever the short squeeze happened as well with GameStop. It went from $2.40 all the way up to $12 within 3 days. So now we're seeing that AMC's back at that level again. It reached to about $2.46, but it didn't go lower where it hit last year. So that's a great sign. We picked the price up way before we can go lower. Now we're staying strong above that support level. We're not going to see AMC go below $2.40 this year, guys. I want to let you know that now AMC is in a perfect buy right now. If you begin grabbing a whole bunch of options, they cost about $50 to $100 each for ones long and out for the rest of the year that expired 2026. I did research for you guys. So if y'all can get at least 10 contracts of this for $100 each, would that be about a $1,000 investment? You can be about a return from about $10,000 once AMC contract is worth $1,000 each later this year once it starts the short squeeze as well with GameStop. Guys, this one is gonna run with GameStop. They run like brothers. They're like the Splash Bros. They're like Mario and Luigi. This right here is one of the best stocks that's slept on and beat up. That's currently on sale. People are always going to the movies. They're always releasing blockbuster movies every year. You see that the movies are coming out in 2025 are getting way better in quality, and now they're upgrading theaters. They invest into the Cinemax. Guys, AMC is right where you want it in front of your eyes, or you should be buying. This is a perfect setup. We're never gonna get a setup like this again. And AMC is just limitless. And right here, where price is at, we don't know how high AMC will go from where it's at. But just know that it's not gonna go any lower where it's at. Just know you should be buying AMC in the portfolio as one of those risk stocks that people put a lot of slander and hate on. but it has a lot of growth. DJT is another great stock for you to have in your portfolio. As Donald Trump lays out these tariffs, this is a great stock to add to your portfolio. We seen when election time where Trump was getting into office around September and October, this stock started to rally from $12 and jump up all the way to $52. That's say 2-3 months in that year. And now we're seeing price back down in that $12 to $20 range. This is a great time where you can buy this stock. As when we start to see that these tariffs and Trump start to make good beneficiary effects to the economy, we're going to start getting this stock to get back towards that $60 range. So we got opportunity to times 3 what we put in. It passed $60, so we can go to $100 in the next 2 years that Trump is in office. And this stock is going to rally. I guarantee that Trump is going to profit from this stock rallying as well. And this is a good one for you to add to your portfolio as one of those meme stocks as well with GameStop AMC. Because DJT is one of those stocks that stay stagnant. But once the train takes off, you don't want to miss that train. Reddit is not even a meme stock to me. Reddit is a great stock for you to be invested in. The Reddit community are having full investors that invest in the stock market and communicate about the investments that they make. And they have different type of people on Reddit. They got a community for the people that have like interests. So I like how Reddit came this business model where it's at and raised up about a $45 billion market cap. And while we see Reddit on sale with $101, I mean, we seen whenever Reddit came IPO the last 2 years that this stock opened up really low, about $45, and really took off from there. And now we see that Reddit is back down from where it's at. It was at 220 all-time high, and then when it opened, it went down to a low about $30 to $40, $39, $40, and we continue seeing Reddit was in this uptrend for a good year. Open only up in 2024, and now seeing it back down at 101. I can see Reddit going back to $200 this year. DoorDash is one of them perfect volatile stocks that stays high. Whenever the market crashes, the stock doesn't go down too low. We know that DoorDash is one of the biggest market caps growing for food delivery companies as well as Uber. DoorDash is just expanding with customers, and new customers sign up for the app, and this is just going to make the app more demanding in the future. Food delivery to your home, services like groceries, services, any kind of service that you think of, DoorDash will come up with it, find it on this app for its consumers. I like how this week DoorDash went low to about $174, and now we continue finishing the week at $180. And I like how we actually went down to a low of $155 on Monday for DoorDash, and we shot up to $180. So that's about a $25 to $30 difference right there. We continue getting on DoorDash as we push back up to $216. I will load up on DoorDash because we're going to push up to all-time high at about $250 this year. This one is just a growth stock. Every time we see earnings, it's going to be a good earnings for this. If we see a bad earnings, it's a great time to buy the stock in a huge dip like how it is right now. But straight, we know that every time DoorDash is in a correction, it doesn't stay down there too long. Price target for this one is $220, like I said. I like this one long-term growth. It's a good one to have in your portfolio. I can see you getting the option for this one and getting about $5,000 return investment if you put a leap on this one. Affirm is one of those growth companies that came out the last few years where people can borrow money so they can pay for purchases on Amazon and Walmart. I like how Affirm is down to 43%, and it's down at least $51 the last 49 days. I like how Affirm has a way to opportunity to go back to where its all-time high was at this year, was on between $84. So we can times 2 if we buy shares, and we can get about a $5,000 investment if we put a leap option on this one that will cost about $1,500 to $1,800, but we can get a return for $5,000. Now we will continue buying this one because we're seeing that this week alone, Monday, stock pulled down to $31. But once the pause happened with tariffs, we're seeing that the stock climbed back to $40 this week and actually shot up to $46 yesterday. And then we'll continue pulling back down. Now we'll continue loading up on this stock. We'll get a long growth in this for our portfolio for the next 3 years. Affirm is not going nowhere. We know people, as long as they borrow money, this stock is always going to be growing. Roblox had a good while 2 week. This week went down to about $50, and now it closed at $57 for the week. We know that Roblox is down 30% and $23 in the last 34 days. And as we load up on Roblox, we want to continue buying in this correction anywhere below really $70. We can keep buying Roblox on dollar cost average as we push back up to 144 all-time high. Whenever one Roblox was released for IPO, we've seen that Roblox has been in this huge uptrend starting from 2023, and we haven't pulled down back to this area of support between $24 and $50. Price doesn't want to fall below that. So once Roblox touched support right here, it quickly bounced. So if we can see price jumping up in a few weeks and few days from now, then you just want to continue buying on Roblox, even in some long calls. We've seen JP Morgan bounce down to $202 on Wednesday, and this one had a huge rebound once the tariffs was paused. This is one you want to keep an eye on when stuff with the economy makes drastic moves. You know JP Morgan's going to make a drastic move on the stock because this is where most of the economy's money is at. We've seen whenever the 2008 financial crisis happened, Chase had no words for its consumers and bankers whenever they lost a lot of money for the bankers. They lost money just because they were investing heavily into the bond market and invested into the markets and didn't have enough money for people that had money in deposit in their bank. So we learned from the 2008 crisis just because JP Morgan is not somewhere you want to leave your money in and trust them for any type of investments for you to grow your wealth. You are responsible for your career and growing your wealth. That's why I teach you guys these tools and these skills so you can invest and take advantage. But you can also invest in JP Morgan stock though, because it's a real volatile stock. It's more you add money to the stock than just leaving your money tied to Chase. But if you want to be safe and risk, you can add your money to the bank. I'm not telling you not to put your money in the bank, but just be cautious of what happened in history. It's history is bound to repeat itself. In economic crisis, you're getting only 5 cents or 10 cents on return on your investment by you just leaving your money in the bank, rather than you making huge gains like 4%, $9 each share that you own from JP Morgan Chase. So we continue finishing out this bottom after this false breakout. JP Morgan fell down to 202 and finished at 236, and that's a huge gain for the week. I mean, we've seen stocks like that don't even move like that normally, but once these tariffs really change, we've seen that JP Morgan really turned around after this false breakout, and now it's pushing up towards $280 for the rest of the year. I got a price target for JP Morgan about $300. If we can load up right now, we can put a call long leap on this one. This one's gonna stay high. It's one of those stocks that's just going to continue rise. Let's dive into some mega about tech companies. We're seeing AMD fall down to $77 Monday, and then Wednesday we're seeing it pull back up to $97, guys. This is a real volatile day for these tech companies as we've seen it rebound after this huge tariff thing, and this 9-day pause is really going to put a bull rally on these markets for AMD as well. Is a good time to buy this stock as we've just been beat up the last almost 400 days now. We're down at least 63%, and we're down at least $142. So all my AMD investors, hang tight because we're going to rebound this year, and I got a price target for AMD about $150 in 2025, and we're going to continue riding that in next year to pass 250. It's a great stock. You know, we got to get our semiconductors and our graphic design chips, and this one is one of those that always have to get beat up in order to rally. We've seen it so much times in the past. We've seen it in 2023 right here. We've seen it in 2022 right here. We've seen it in 2020, 2021. You know what I'm saying? So we've seen every time this stock has huge dips like this, it's down to rebound. Depending on how long you want to wait, but we know the time for this one right now has already been 400 days. I don't see it going down any lower than $50 or if it's $70 for it being in 2025. Because as you know, timing in stocks is everything. So people who got into timing earlier, they don't have to worry about risk as much as people who get in now. So like I said, earlier you get into the stocks, it's less risky than people will get into it later. But like I said, it's never too late for you to invest because we always have crashes. So no matter where you bought, if you bought in early, people like in 2008 ain't worried about a stock market crash because they got in at $1 for AMD. they got him at $3, right? And you know what I'm saying? So you want to continue paying attention to stuff like that. We're seeing like stocks this low. Whenever we see economic crisis, we want to take advantage of it. TQQ had a great week. Seeing TQQ fall down to $35 on Monday. And then once tariffs got paused, we seen it rebound so quick and jump later that day, $51. So now that we see TQQ fall down to 35, which is actually a 3-5-year low, we've seen it touch that level in 2023 and 2022 and 2021. So this is a huge level of support where price is touched right now, and where it's currently at as well, where buyers stepped in and they pushed the price up. So once you see price at that level, you know that buyers are going to step in just due to basic technicals. People are saying that everything that has happened with the markets this week was market manipulation. Okay, if it was, technicals do not lie. That's why we make videos like this, guys. Technical analysis is where candlesticks and prices form out patterns and they bounce. No matter what happens fundamentally or any news, these technicals will not lie. If the candlestick is at a certain area or formation that where it has to bounce or break out due to pretend sell-off or bearish candlesticks, then price is gonna do its thing regardless. So this is what we're seeing. We're seeing a huge candlestick engulfing candlestick where price is at this area of demand, and we're seeing a huge engulfing candlestick. And now I see TQQ for later this year going to $100 all time, and I'll continue buying. Even the long leap will be good for this one, as it's down 56% at $52. I can see it getting a $5,000 return investment from only investing about $1,500 to $2,000. Tesla is one of my favorite picks. That that is down 55% and $270 in the last 83 days. We're seeing that Tesla finished off this bottom, double bottom right here. Price touched 214, was lower than last week's bottom, which is good. We got to pull down lower. And I like this nice little bull flag candlesticks formation right here. And as we've seen this hammer candlestick in this bull flag, we're going to see some higher prices in Tesla from now in May and June until August. And maybe we'll see some pullback in September. But right now, it's a perfect entry for investors that want to buy Tesla. I mean, we see that this stock, every time we've seen it in this level, it's been touched this time at least about 7 times, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Oh my goodness, probably even 12 times, guys. This is an area of support where buyers step in and they push this price up. So don't be surprised if price crashes down to $214 just because it wasn't that price 12 times in the past. Buyers were going to step in to push this price up because that's a great price for Tesla. Buyers seen the price previously due to basic technicals where they're going to want to buy that price because it's familiar. Everything in the stock market is patterns and familiarity with prices, supply and demand. Price target for Tesla is $500. If we can get a nice leap right now for Tesla, about $3,500 to $4,500 investment, I can see us getting about a $12,000 return to $15,000 return on Tesla. Silver Micro is a great stock as well. It had stock split last year, and we're seeing the stock rally 2024. It had a phenomenal year, and this year we're starting to see great signs to start. We've seen it bounce to $26 and spike all the way to $67 in February, and now this last month we're seeing it cool off and begin the correction. I can start seeing this stock pick back up as rally, and once it picks up, I can see price target for SMCI to be about $70 this year. And I like where it's at. We're now $40. We can get at least a $4,000 return with a long option on this one. As we continue loading up on SMCI, we got to pay attention to how the import on tariffs is, but that's not going to affect this one. We want to pay attention more to interest rates. Interest rates is going to get this stock really pushing. As we load up on SMCI at 33, it's a great one to load up for a tech stock, and it's really low right now, all-time high. We can see it pushing to 120 once we load up and build a long-term foundation with it. Qualcomm had a phenomenal week this week. We've seen it drop down to $121 and pull up to $139. and it had a great week to end as it finished out this engulfing pattern, this hammer candlestick, and now we continue pushing back up to where it really dropped and fell down the gap down, which was like 177. All these people who would have lost. But either way, if you're buying long term for Qualcomm, you're making a huge drastic good move because you're profiting from the price movement from the stock going up. See that $19 difference, and the 85 cent a share dividend that it pays its investors. It's one of the highest paid dividends for you to have as an investor in your portfolio. And I just like the stock because it's really good passive income stock for you to build up long. And people would have got in at 123, got in at a sale to really start building some wealth. But people are going to continue loading up from here on. Anything $100 to $200 below Qualcomm is a great one to buy long term. And we can see that the next Qualcomm earnings is going to be a good one. As we see mobile devices, it's not going to be only hurting the company off tariffs, but benefit. Adobe is one of my favorite stocks just because the way the graphics, the design, and editing the software it has, and a bunch of tools that it has. It's very advanced with the AI futures as well. It's a great stock at this $352 range. And we were just seeing Adobe beat up this last year, 437 days. It's now 43% and $273. So this is a great example of you to buy Leap on, where you can get about $27,000 investment on, but you can invest in $25,000 to $7,000. This one right here can pull down a little bit, maybe off of bad earnings, down to about $281, or even below that to $240. This one will be a great example for you to really start building some long-term wealth with this M pattern showing that this is a trend reversal. So I showed you guys on chart patterns, this is a sign of bearish movement ahead. So price did fall after we seen this M. So y'all be careful whenever you see an M pattern like this on the 1 hour time frame or any kind of time frame, to be honest. Be careful whenever you see huge drops after, because price will drop once you see this M pattern. Like, this is a perfect sign that price is headed towards the downside. We see an example shown in 2024 in January and December 2023. Price has just been falling since then. But we're going to see recovery for Adobe because Adobe's high for a reason. It's one of the software companies that's been around since like the 90s, 80s. So this is going to be a great one to load up on. You know you have to pay attention to Carvana whenever we hear about tariffs and the stock market making huge moves on pauses from tariffs. So Carvana fell down to $149 on Monday. And once we've heard about the pause from Trump, we've seen it push up to $220, guys. These are life-changing moves off Carvana. So we've seen it gap up $80 in a few days. And when I talk about short squeezes or huge amount of gains in days, Carvana has always been known for that. And this is not even after earnings reports. These are just basic trading days. Carvana is one of the best volatile stocks that you can own in your portfolio of trading as well, with long calls with this one. And people who would have got in out here already up $8K per contract. So they would have bought 10 contracts, they'll be up $80K. So like I said, guys, the more money you gonna have willing to invest, the more money you can lose or make in this long-term stock market. You just gotta play the cards right and make sure that you're paying attention to where price is at on these candlesticks. Like I said, patience always is gonna win. People who would have bought Carvana way too early right here wouldn't be losing out right now. But if you dollar cost average, that doesn't mean nothing to you. If you're a long-term investor, that doesn't mean nothing to you, because we've seen this M pattern right here, meaning that's going to be a falling price ahead of us. Every time I see it, y'all see that M, like I told y'all, be careful for price to fall down. We got to wait for that second bottom, and boom, hit that one after Trump really scared people with these tariffs. And it's not going to affect Carvana, man. Y'all know Carvana is going to be important in selling these cars and delivering it to their homes. Carvana is always going to be making the sales. With car sales is always going to be needed. People are always going to take loans to get cars. Carvana is always going to be making huge profits in its earnings. And I see, look at the past, in this last 2 years, ever since interest rates are up, Carvana really rebounded from being $3 now to $200. So that, to me, in my eyes, is one of the best setups we have in a long time from being a short squeeze besides GameStop. I'm going to continue buying this stock as we push up towards all-time high, which is about $391 all-time high. So people got in down here. Is a good time too, but we seen it earlier in January 2023, Carvana, how low it was. Look at how Apple bounced from $168 and pulled up to $198 in a few days after those tariffs announcements. We've seen that the stock is up $30 in a week, and this is a good sign of a hammer. A hammer is whenever a price falls down low and makes an all-time low or new low for the week or day, or betting on that time period, and then it goes up and closes towards the high. So this is perfectly a hammer candlestick, but we're not going to see that on the 1 year time frame. We zoom out, we're going to see that candlestick on the monthly time frame. So this is towards the hammer candlestick. Price is sitting up towards the upside. You see how the week show where price touched, but it didn't stay down there too long. New to buyers pushing the price up. So Apple is a great one as it's now 28%. It's down $71 at last 120 days. This is life-changing moves right here with this sleep on Apple. I know people like to make a lot of money off Apple, and this one makes a lot of people money. It prints easy money for them. If they can play this one out with patience and leaps, they can make about a $7,000 investment long term, and if you can only spend about $2,500 long term, I can see price for Apple reaching $270 this year. Microsoft had a great week as well. We've seen Microsoft fall down to $344 this week, which is another hammer candlestick. This is a perfect example of a hammer, by the way. Whenever we see bullish prices, we've seen it pull up on Wednesday after announcements of tariffs to about $394, and now close for the week at this price level, and we're going to continue seeing higher highs for Microsoft for the next few months. But right now it's a great price for your enter, as it's down $100 from where price is at all time in the last 273 days, and we continue seeing it down. It was actually pulled down to $125 if people would have bought it lower, but it's still a good zone for you to buy now long term and get at least a $10,000 investment off this long leap right here. We're investing about $3,500. ARM is one of those electronic semiconductor stocks that fell down to $79 this week, and it pulled up to $103. So it had a nice, real volatile week at a $30 difference, and that's life-changing moves as well. And you know, whenever price falls where recent price was really volatile, like it was previously in 2024, price is gonna bounce as well. So once price stayed down this $8 range for a day, and then it stayed there that day too long, price quickly reversed and ended up closing higher. So this is a great sign where next few months we can start seeing ARM pull up to $190 to the rest of the year. It's a good one to get a long call on to make about a $10,000 investment as well. You know, I can't forget about Nvidia. Nvidia went down to $86 this week, but after the pause on tariffs, we've seen Nvidia pull up to $110. So that's a nice about $15 difference, almost $20 difference right there. And that's life-changing moves as well. It's just down 31% and $48 at all-time high. If you want to push up in this stock to $150 this year, price target to get about a $5,000 investment. If we invest in about $1,500 to $2,000. Amazon had a great week as well. We've seen Amazon fall down to $161. Every time we see Amazon pull up with this hammer candlestick like it did in August 2024, we've seen that rebound months after, and we're going to see Amazon push back up to 242 in a heartbeat just because it's one of those biggest market cap stocks, and it's one of those volatile stocks. Always seen Amazon hit that stocks, but when it was at $3,000 to the 2021, this stock's really volatile ever since then. And then we've had this one a long term as Amazon's. Everyone uses it, you know. Your grandma, your auntie, this one's gonna always be here. And they have been paid their shareholder dividends. And I can see you getting a nice little $6,000 investment off a leap with Amazon right now per contract. And this is a great one to have a portfolio. You know, we can't forget about Global. Global had a great week this week. It fell down to $143 and it pushed up to $159. We've seen local in the last 57 days. It's down $60. This one's going to be a good call lead in to buy shares on as we push up to $220 this year. This is gonna be one if you make a $6,000 investment from investing about $2,500. And this one is on the radar. As we know, Google is always one of those magnificent tech stocks that's always going to be in demand. And we can start seeing this one rebound from the next few months, starting in May, leading in all the way to the summertime. And that's going to cap it off for today's video. I appreciate you guys staying to the end of this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I want to let you know, guys, that during these market uncertainties, these are times for young investors like you and me to take advantage of prices low. The whole point of prices to fall down this low are for new people and new investors that come into the market who missed out on opportunities to grow generational wealth back then, maybe because they were too young or they weren't in a career that they needed to be in that time, or just got it started. There's always time for you to start something. There's always new opportunity in front of you guys. You just gotta have your mindset adapted for you to see them, get out the way you're thinking, and change. We always gotta be able to change, guys. Change is what makes us prosper, only if it's good for us and the better. So once we see that terrorists are outplayed and people are feared and selling off, people are causing chaos because stuff that's going up outside of our control in office, or huge terrorists are getting, there's a trade war going on with different countries. That's the best time. Whenever there's economic conflict, we've seen in history, that's the best time for you to go heavy in dollar cost average investing, putting these leaps on these companies very low, being cautious of you being impatient, buying at bad times, and really waiting for prices to fall at certain levels and really waiting for them to bounce, and being patient, guys. Patient and buying economic fear are two ways that you can become wealthy in economic downturns. And we know that these terrorists are going to play off at the end of the day just because terrorists is going to benefit the economy. What it does is it makes the stock prices that are already too high fall down so investors can come in, step in and buy in low at new prices. And this is going to be the way where new lows can become new highs based off these terrorists playing effect. Once the terrorists play effect and the prices are high and companies have made a good profit, you're going to start seeing the stock market go higher and really rally, as well as the stock prices falling. Okay, all these type of economies start really benefiting. We're going to start seeing unemployment get low. We're going to start all this economic data playing out. So really, we want to just really play this stuff out, guys. We know that interest rates is falling down later this year. That's going to be a good news for the economy and stock market. Can't just pay attention to the bad. We got to be optimistic about the future as well, because there is good to come. And just because this is a good example of saying that people are always going to be in fear, going to miss out on good opportunity. This week was a perfect example. Last week I said that it was the worst week in the stock market, and look what happened the next week following that. Every time the worst comes, the better is going to come after it. And this is going to happen in the stock market. As a person that's been paying attention to stocks the last 5 years, I'm telling you from personal experience that whenever you see the worst, anything, extreme fear, just know that buyers are going to step in whenever that happens. And Trump did not do no market manipulation. This is just basic technical analysis from being invested in the stock market. Where prices going to jump at, prices sit at according on the charts, it's going to do its thing regardless of what happens up there in office. Those people already know, and they can read charts as well. So guys, don't pay attention too much to what you see, what you hear on the news. Make sure you lock in, focusing on your budget, guys, every month. Are you taking money aside to invest into your financial future? Are you practicing writing out that budget using that Social Academics budget app so you can save every month in order to pour into your investments at dollar cost average, and watch these videos so you can keep practicing buying in at these prices what we see at every day. We make these videos so you guys can start building a skill outside of your job right now, and you can take it on with you anywhere, and you can pass it down to your generation. So guys, I need you guys to pay attention from now for the next 90 days and really lock in, because we got this, guys. Start building out and networking with people. Start finding ways you can increase that income so you can expand that budget, so you can pay off that debt,
so you can go out and enjoy yourself as well to be an investor, meet new people to take along with this journey with you. That's really it, guys. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you like this video, you guarantee to like and want to come in the future. See you guys in the next one. We're so fact biggest copy free bucks. Like that.
I've been in the flu, but I never drowned it. Life is tough on a simple bounty. Faith in the Lord, I never move a mountain. As I sow, I shall reap. There's an outcome to our deeds, so I practice what I preach. Yeah, I'm covered in the spirit, from my head to my feet. What I want is not a need. She keep begging me to stay. Something's telling me to leave. I stole my love and make it count. I've been in the flood, but I never drowned it. Life is tough on a simple bounty. Faith in the Lord, I never move a mountain. Pray to the Lord, I drop to my knees. He is the way and He is the key. When I'm feeling low, I call out to me. For God of the world, 316. He is the way, the truth, and the life. Good versus evil, you gotta decipher. Put down the gun and get you a Bible. You got too much pride, you feeling entitled. I stole my life and take a drowning. Men and floods, but with faith I'm never drowning. Life is tough on a simple bounty. Faith in the Lord, I know He'll move a mountain. I started my life in bank accounting. Been in floods, but with faith I'm never drowning. Life is tough on a simple bounty. Faith in the Lord, I know He'll move a mountain.